So hello and welcome to I'm the Best Mom. I trust you all are keeping well and staying safe. I'm the Best Mom is committed to make your motherhood a joyful experience. I'm the Best Mom is bringing you a lot of collective knowledge and right information from specialized doctors and experts. In this platform, particularly when we are talking about cover page, cover story, we have been addressing topics related to healthcare and some of the topic where it's very important being a parents to know more about the children, maybe in the form of language with a wellness program in yoga. And today we will be having a very interesting session where which we all have gone through related to toys. So today's topic is extremely interesting, how to select toys for our children. And we will be coming to our guest of the day today. But before that, let me take you through the way I'm the Best Mom. Best Mom is helping you and the community. So before we get into the today's session, when we're talking about toys and our journey with it, let us spend another 4 or 5 minutes learning how this can be more interesting when we are interacting with children and giving a message out here.
अरे यार, अब इस बिजली को भी अभी ही जाना था।
यहाँ पर तो काफी गर्मी हो रही है।
चलो बाहर मेरे लॉन पे चलते हैं। अब क्या करें, बोर हो रहा है।
डोंट वरी फ्रेंड्स,
ऐसे कठिन परिस्थिति से आपको बचाने के लिए आ गया है आपका दोस्त। सो तैयार हो जाओ। आज का पहला गेम है कैटरपिलर रेस। इस गेम में हमें प्लेयर्स के बीच में एक बलून रखना है। अब इन प्लेयर्स को एक कैटरपिलर की तरह चलना है बिना बलून नीचे गिराए और ये रेस जीतनी है। और हाँ, बलून को आप हाथ नहीं लगा सकते। इस बार तो मैं ही जीतूंगा।
नहीं रियो, बेटर लक नेक्स्ट टाइम।
नेक्स्ट गेम इज रोबोटिक फ्रेंड। इस गेम में एक प्लेयर की आंखों पे पट्टी बंधी होगी और उसे टास्क पूरा करने गाइड करेगा उसका पार्टनर प्लेयर अपनी आवाज से। ये तो बहुत डिफिकल्ट है। एट फर्स्ट ऐसा ही लगता है। इस गेम से हमारी कम्युनिकेशन स्किल्स और कॉन्फिडेंस में भी काफी इंप्रूवमेंट होती है। अच्छा, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट। मुझे ये गेम जीतना है। आपका टारगेट है कि अपने रोबोट प्लेयर को गार्डन की इस मेज से डायरेक्ट कर उसे पार पहुंचाना है।
वेट, पीछे
भागो भागो भागो, रुको। अब राइट राइट राइट, स्टॉप स्टॉप स्टॉप, रन।
ओके वेट, पीछे आओ, थोड़ा और
भागो भागो भागो, रुको।
राइट राइट
लेफ्ट
राइट
लेफ्ट जंप
साइड
जंप। अब राइट राइट राइट, स्टॉप स्टॉप स्टॉप, रन।
मुड़ो। ओके सीधे चलो।
यार इसमें तो काफी मजा आया। व्हाट्स नेक्स्ट जेजी? नेक्स्ट इज शेपिंग द रोप। यह प्लेयर्स और सारे मेंबर्स की आंखों पे पट्टी बांधी जाएगी एंड सारे मेंबर्स एक सर्कल में खड़े रहेंगे और उनके हाथ में एक रोप होगा। अब प्लेयर का टास्क है कि उसे बताया हुआ ज्योमेट्रिक शेप अपने मेंबर्स के हाथ की रोप का इस्तेमाल करके बनाना है। सिंपल। ये सारी गेम्स आपको लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज सिखाती है, आपका कम्युनिकेशन, टीम प्लेइंग स्पिरिट और कॉन्फिडेंस बढ़ाते हैं, हमें प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने के नए तरीकों के बारे में अवेयर करते हैं
और ढेर सारे मजे भी देते हैं।
So absolutely, this is very interesting, and I would request all the parents. Jaji is a character like this. Lot of positivity, lot of information, lot of awareness. So please do visit to Jaji Tara channel on YouTube, and you can see plenty of videos which has definitely message with every time it comes. Now, let us get into the session of cover page cover story. So with this, it's an honor to have Dr. Tanvi Priya today with us. Dr. Tanvi is a neurodevelopmental and behavioral pediatrician. She works with, she is the director at Vivis Sky Child Care Clinic at Mumbai. She's a consultant developmental pediatrician at Oak Heart Hospital, Mira Road, Mumbai, and Children and General Hospital, Malad at Mumbai. And today's session, we will be having Dr. Anuj Rasugisa take us forward. And the subject is how to select a toy for my child. So with this, I invite Dr. Tanvi to I'm the Best Mom.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Dr. Tanvi, Dr. Anuj is also here. He would be joining in a minute.
Sure.
Please let us understand a little bit more from you when you have picked up this topic for the day.
So this was quite an interesting topic when it was proposed, and how to select a toy for a child, which looks like a very basic thing that all of the parents have gone through, but nobody had given a thought that what actually the toy they are buying for their children. So it's not like I wanted to say this when at the start of the talk that it's not like कि अब क्या खिलौने खरीदने के लिए भी डॉक्टर की सलाह लेनी पड़ेगी, but the thing is that being a developmental pediatrician, I will be talking a lot around how development is affected by your selection of toy, and vice versa, how the toy is a meaningful application towards your child's development. So it's all around the play skills, the child's development, and the milestones that the child is achieving, and how your toys are changing along with that. So it's not like there is no correct answer to whether you need a doctor's advice to how to spend on your child, but you definitely need to understand on what you are spending on, whether that is going to be beneficial or it's just a competitive world that okay, इसके बच्चे के पास ये है तो मेरे पास होना चाहिए, that kind of a situation. So that's what we will be trying to discuss today.
Absolutely, and we'll go deep into that. With this, I may request all our participants, if you have any specific question to Dr. Tanvi or Dr. Anuj Rastogi, please keep it posted on the Q&A section. We should be taking it towards the end of the session. If we are missing out any of your query, then we can certainly take it forward. Dr. Tanvi, when we are talking about playing with toys, it starts with at a very, very early month of the child, when the child is born, with a rattle or with something more.
Absolutely.
And it never ends. So
Yeah.
everybody look forward to have it. So with this, we'll be talking a lot in and around this topic. So over to you, Dr. Anuj Rastogi, sir.
Good evening, Deepman. I'm very sorry being late here, and I welcome Dr. Tanvi, Priya.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, sir. Around 20-30 years ago, there was no so much value for the toys. And with the evolution, with time, we have understood the toys are really necessary for the development of the child. And through toys, they learn various games, they learn cognition, they learn executive functions, they know spatial relationship. Like in puzzles, they fit two blocks together.
Yeah.
And so we learn so many things with the toys.
Absolutely.
So my first question to you is, how to select best toys for the kids?
So the selection of the toy depends upon the age of the child and what is the skill that you're trying to teach the child through that interactive play with the parent. So that is being covered in the talk, and that is how we will see how skill-based development happens through selection of toys for the children according to their developmental stages.
Okay. So, you know, it is very, very important how to choose toys for kids of different ages. I mean, at 6 months of age, 1 year of age, 1.5 years of age.
Right. So an infant is basically learning through all the 5 senses of touch, smell, taste, and they have a lot of mouthing of objects. They try to manipulate a lot of objects. So depending on that, we will have to choose toys which initiate or which kind of give them more exposure towards their environment, and a lot of bright toys for vision to develop because their binocular vision develops around 6 months of age. So all this, the bright toys that we are using, that gradually develops their cognition, cognitive ability, and various developmental stages.
So why we are discussing all this in present era, because there are a lot of shift from the physical toys to the digital toys, and our digital toys are very effective. What we are missing in digital toys, जब से digitalization हुआ है, lockdown हुआ है, सब कुछ online हो रहा है. पहले भी बच्चे डिजिटल टॉयज पे जा रहे थे, अब कुछ ज्यादा बढ़ गए हैं क्योंकि घर में खेलने की जगह लिमिटेड है और बाहर खेलना जाना अलाउड नहीं था. We are discussing this issue only because of that reason. When in this digital era, whether you should avoid these physical toys or you should choose for the physical toys over the digital toys.
So the answer becomes very obvious that yes, we should be avoiding digital toys. But there is a recommendation by American Academy of Pediatrics to the level of screen time that has to be allowed for the children, and depending on that, we'll have to see how that screen time is helping the child. Plus, obviously, the physical toys and the development that happens with the physical toys in the children cannot be replaced by digitalization or the electronic toys, because that takes away the imaginative power, that takes away the parental interaction with the child. More the work the toys are doing, lesser the child is doing and thinking on its own. So obviously the answer is very obvious, but we will later see how and why that is an answer to this question.
Dr. Tanvi, do you have some slide to show to us so that we audience can understand it better?
Yes, yes,
Please
yeah.
share.
So we can, sure. So shall we go to the slides and then we can,
Yeah, ma'am.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is it visible through in the slideshow?
Not
When
yet.
I'm changing the slide, when I'm changing the slides, is it visible?
Yeah, now it has come.
Okay. So the topic that we have chosen today is, obviously we have heard about it, that how to select a toy for your child. So going ahead in this talk, we will, as I said, that being a developmental pediatrician, the whole idea revolves around the synchronization of development of the child with the play skills and with the toys. So the importance of play. The flow of the talk will talk about a lot of how play has stages of development, how play helps with skill development, what are the important points that you need to keep in mind while you're selecting a toy for your child, what are the best toys for your child, then according to ages, what is your specific toy, then what are the specific toys for children with special needs, and then to the final, very prominent, important question, electronic versus traditional toys. So we'll just start with that and we'll see. Play is basically, as Albert Einstein said, that is the highest form of research, because children express themselves a lot through play. Children who are minimally verbal also express their emotions with in various forms of plays when you observe them. So that becomes their way of expression. So there are, when the child is developing, there are 6 stages of play. So when the child is 0 to 3 months of age, there is unoccupied play. That means the child just does the movements of arms, legs, hands, feet, and they are learning and discovering their own body through that in that period. Then comes the solitary play stage from 0 to 2 years, when the child is alone and not interested in playing with others quite yet. So this is very important, because a lot of times parents come with this question at the age of 2 years, that the child is not mingling or not playing with other children uh, as other children of other ages are doing. So it is very evident that the child is developmentally at a stage of solitary play, or at an onlooker behavior play at 2 years of age, where he will just be observing the other children and but will not go to them to play with them. Then comes parallel play at 2 to 3 years of age, where the child will be alongside another child and copying what the other child is doing, but not getting involved in the play with the other child. As in, he will not go and take that toy, or he will not try to pull the child to come and play with him. Then comes associative play, which is at the age 3 to 4 years, where the child starts to interact with other children during the play. Now, here there is not much cooperation required. You just see that if you observe children in the playground, they will be running after one another, or they will be holding their hands and going round in circles, or if one goes on the swing, the other also follows. So that is the kind of associative play that the child does at the age of 3 to 4 years. The main play that you say, as in the cooperative play that starts, where you understand the whole scenario of playing in a group, that comes after 4 years of age. So when the child plays with other children, shares interests, shares ideas, and then there is a lot of pretend happening. that happens at the age of 4 years and beyond. So play gives children a chance to practice what they are learning. So this is very important that we give the children a chance to play, which is a very prominent question these days, because we see that parents struggle with a lot of scheduling for the children to with their academics, with a lot of skill-based classes and a lot of other activities that they are trying to do, and the unstructured playtime is very less for children these days. So this is very important that we emphasize this to the new parents, and of course the parents to the of adolescents also, that unstructured playtime is very important for them to practice whatever they have learned all through. So this is just basic brain anatomy to show the audience and the parents which brain areas are related to what, as we will be talking about skill development with play. So these are the lobes of the brain. So this is the frontal lobe, which is associated with problem solving, creative thinking, and the personality of the child. Temporal lobe helps you with memory. I will just roughly go through this because this is not related to toy selection per se. This is parietal lobe, where the visual functions, reading, understanding, language happens. This is occipital lobe, where the vision develops. Cerebellum is required for balance, coordination, motor learning. And the medulla oblongata, or the brain stem, is related with breathing and the basic life functions. So all of this development, all of these areas is happening through the stages that your child is going through. So it's very important to understand what uh, at what stage the child is and how you are going to help him in that. So from birth to 18 months of age. So this is what we call the Piaget theory of practice play. Piaget was a psychologist who developed the Piaget theory of cognition development in children. So play reflects the development of brain areas. So when a child is born, there are already neurons present in the brain, but the synapses that develop, the connections in those neurons that develop and enhance, this is by experience. As the child experiences and explores the environment around, more and more synapses are formed, and this most rapid brain activity happens between the newborn and 12 months of age. So the greatest growth occurs in the sensory motor, in the visual areas, and later in the frontal lobes. So the frontal lobes were associated with personality development, with cognition. That is the most later stage of development. First of all, your senses will and your motor areas will improve, and then your visual cortex, means your vision will be more of a prominent function to improve, and later on your cognition will develop. So sight, sound, touch, taste, smell, these are all the ways that babies learn uh, about when they are learning there and exploring their world. So, and when gradually, when the child is around 7 months, then they sit up, then they start crawling, then they start standing and walking, and then they just, a lot of possibilities just open up for them, that they can quickly expand their learning more and more. So now, as the child is exploring the environment, learning is happening, synapses continue to form and expand. And this reaches the level of 1000 trillion, which is twice the density of adult brain. Now, pruning is a process which this synapses go down. They reduce in number in the adult brain. So that happens later. So you can imagine that at 18 months to 3 years, what is the capacity of the child's brain? It is almost twice, the activity is almost twice that of an adult brain. Okay, so this is the time we see that from an infant to a toddler, the child's language, the emotional, the social connection, all this is developing a lot. So the structure of the brain sensitive to language and social emotional response develop, and motor development, of course, happens at a very fast rate. The child, from being in a supine position to walking, just happens in a year, and after that they start their running, their climbing of steps, and steps ahead. So action And you won't find any toddler, like every parent knows that a toddler won't be sitting at one place. They will be jumping, running, climbing, riding, doing all this. All this is helping their brain develop. Their play skills are expanding. From 3 to 6 years, this is the fastest growth period for the frontal lobe network. That is, they start processing memory, their problem solving skills develop. So 90% of your adult weight of the brain is gained by 6 years of age. So that's why when we correlate with this age, the imagination, the interactive, the associative play, this happens during the preschool years, where a lot of pretend play happens and the kids experience. You would have seen kids giving roles to other kids and a lot of dramatization happening. They imagining themselves as various characters. All this is happening in the preschool years. The language and social skills practice through make-believe games come into the play as preschoolers interact more and more. Now at 6 to 9, the child is very mature. The pruning has started happening. The synapses are coming down. The motor and sensory areas are getting established. So the brain activity is also getting controlled. The impulse control is coming up in the child's brain. The child knows that what is not rampant as rampant he was at 3 years of age or before that. Now the gradually that impulse control is coming in. This correlates to the diagnosis of attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, which we tend to diagnose after 6 years of age, because that is where the impulse control is developing in the child. So this is just one point that needs to be noted. Now, at this stage, a lot of dexterity the child has gained dexterity, language, they know how to act socially, they know how to perform. So they are more and more eager to practice and refine the skills that they have learned. So now we go to the toy selection category of discussion. So I would like Mr. Deeptiman to please play the video that is there. It's just a small video to show safety of the toys with the kids.
Yeah, just.
So this is no educative video.
you.
This is an entertainment
Old enough to
video
drink,
from,
old enough to do
a
something
teen,
really stupid
but
to
it
make
shows
yourself a baby.
He's my brother. I'm
how
watching him while my parents are in
it is
Barbados.
important to pay
He's having trouble
attention to your
breathing and there's
child,
a lot of
because
wheezing.
you never know what your child
Whistling,
is
technically.
learning.
Upper airways, nose.
If he's got the croup, that could become meningitis, right?
Absolutely.
I was just studying, and all of a sudden I hear him crying and sounding all weird. Oh, then my parents are gonna kill me.
I doubt it.
You don't know them.
No, I doubt you were studying while your parents were away. Hello, officer. You might want to rinse this off before you let him play with it again.
Oh, this is all my fault.
Took another homework break with Betty Lou.
No, last week I showed him a magic trick.
Pulled a quarter out of his nose. It's a classic.
Yeah, now he won't stop shoving stuff up there. Up the house.
Got a crisis here.
Stop.
It's a neat trick.
You have to believe you'll actually hurt them.
Nothing up there. I watched him like a hawk.
Pretty sure you didn't.
I didn't let him play with any more little toys.
Thus forcing him to shove a big one up there. Stop, or I snap your nose off.
He's not too smart.
Genetics is a powerful force. On the other hand, maybe he's smarter than you think.
What's going on?
Just give me a second. Always wanted to use one of these. Tilt his head back.
I don't know. I don't.
Just tilt his head back. Nice grasp of concepts, relationships. Very smart, very cool. First policeman, fireman, and fire truck. Your brother was sending in teams to save the cat.
Wow.
Sometimes the simplest answer
ज्यादा ही
So the video was just to emphasize that you never know how much your child is learning from your environment. And as the child is, was playing with smaller toys, so you have to be as parents very, everybody, all parents know that they can then shove up things up their nose or ears or just down the throat. So they have to play safe. You have to keep them safe and you have to put away the toys safely so that they don't harm or injure themselves. That is the first priority while you are selecting a toy. Your size of the toy should matter depending on the age of the child. We'll come to it ahead. So what are the best toys for your child? So toys are one of the first options that the parents seek because they want the child to be engaged and to boost independence, creativity, and curiosity in children. They want to utilize that time in their when they are working, so that the child can play with the toy. So while selecting a toy or game, they should consider the effect it will have on the child's development. Okay, it should encourage exploration, experimentation, and creativity in your child. So when we are choosing a toy, we will come to 8 specific toys one by one, but these are the basic rules that you need to keep in mind. Always choose toys which are open-ended, which means that the toys which can be used in multiple ways and it doesn't restrain the child's imagination. So when you are using like Legos or blocks, a child can make n number of things with those 100 or 200 Legos. So they can build a house, they can make a freeway, they can create a robot, they can create a bridge, they can create n number of things at that age. So open-ended toys are toys which help them uh, cultivate their imagination more. Closed-ended toys are toys which are bounded. They cannot be used in any way further, like board games. So that board games are an example of closed-ended toys. So that comes at an age which is optimum for board games, but for younger children, it should always be open-ended toys. Always find toys that grow with your child. Look for toys that will have different uses and fun in different ways at different developmental stages, like a train or plastic animal or action figures. So when the child is small, a train is just moving with it, but later on, the whole train track set gives the child an imaginative power to create a railway station platform and more used to it, or an animal farms figure or action figures as they read and they watch. Obviously some amount of media exposure is there, so the action figures, the cartoon characters, the movie characters, so they make them fight together, they let their imagination develop. A lot of communication happens while talking when the father is playing Superman or the son is playing Batman or Robin or whatever. So a lot of communication happens during those times where the parent-child interaction is happening. Always select toys that would be beneficial in various developmental stages, as we discussed: plastic animals, stuffed animals and dolls, blocks, toddler-friendly dollhouse, trains, and dump trucks. When your child is younger, always encourage, they have a lot of energy, as we saw, because the brain is very active. So encourage your child to have toys which can make them more and more active and involved too. Look out for toys that can move around with them. So balls of different sizes. Obviously, when the child is younger, the ball has to be of bigger size. As the child grows, the ball size has to grow small because their coordination improves. Cycles, tricycles, pull and push toys, wagons. The child can sit on the wagon, the other sibling can pull the wagon and take it there. Gardening and tools, which help them pretend and learn gardening skills when the mother is doing. Then there is an example of kitchen set. A lot of pretend happens in those moments, and the child learns the actual life skills via the use of toys. So exploration and problem solving. Simple, we'll have a picture ahead. If you see a toddler playing with a shape sorter, where the shapes are carved in the top of the board, and the child has to put a square through the square hole and the star hole. So this, from the very initial period of maybe 8 or 9 months, the problem solving skills and exploration starts developing in them. They get a chance to figure out on their own. They will be very happy when they can make the square go through that square hole. So that makes them think that, okay, they solved the problem, they figured out something new, and they build a logical thinking that the square is not going to go through the star shape hole. It is going to only go through uh, the square shape. And some children are very, I saw a child who was very intelligent, removed the lid, put everything together and closed the lid off. Okay. So some children can be more imaginative than we can think of. So toys like puzzles, shape sorters, and nesting toys are of great options for you. So their creativity is blooming. So they can have dress up dolls, clothes, toy fruits. You get these toy sets where the fruit can be cut. Then the kitchen, the servings, fruit servings can be served. So pretend play. When father comes back from home, you can pretend to give a glass of water. And later on, as the child grows older, he knows that the father will require a glass of water when he comes in. So that inculcates that habit, logical thinking in that order in the child. Then comes nurturing literacy, when the child is gradually from the toddler age group to a preschooler age group. You can have a lot of books, early writing skills, crayons, drawing papers, art supplies, craft, all to keep them engaged and busy and nurture their literacy skills. Do not buy electronic toys or video games for your child. They have no role. Child has no active role in operating those electronic toys, and such toys do not allow them to use their imagination. Just buy simple toys and permit your child to be creative and spontaneous. Then there is a question of many toys claiming to be educational. There is a research by American Academy of Pediatrics in 2016. You can go and look it up also. I have mentioned it later, that they have no scientific data available that educational toys help your child's brain development. Okay, so this is an unsupported claim by educational toys. So there should not be a competition among parents that this child has. And video games, another important thing with video games is violence. The way the video games are programmed, the children are just becoming they are learning violence, their aggression is increasing, their anxiety is increasing, and they become a very, every time they will have they will want to have a gun in their hand or something or the other related to violent behavior. So it should be a strict no, as much as difficult it sounds. But once you engage your child with a normal traditional toys, it becomes a lot easier for you to handle and to nurture your child through traditional ways. So here are some examples of age-specific toys which parents can look up to. Up to 12 months, you can have soft, cuddly items like stuffed animals, dolls, and puppets. Just make sure that they don't have detachable buttons as eyes or noses because they can just put it in their mouth. Children like a lot of squeaky toys during the bath time. So you can have a lot of bath toys that we can see here. Crib gyms are something that are colorful. They enhance the child's vision and grasping. They will, when the child is 4 months old and the midline grasp is developing, if you give them something like this, they will try to hold, grasp, manipulate them. So that helps. Soft mats to pat. You can sit with the child, pat. You can teach them what a car is, what a bus is, and they can just pat on that because pointing doesn't develop by that age. At this, as you can see, this child is just around 6 months probably, and then you can do a lot of learning through these mats that have pictures on them. Then plastic coated books are again a very good bath time activity where you can show them animals in those books, and they may not be identifying the animals per se, but they enjoy the color, they enjoy the picture. Their visual cortex is developing in that time. Rattles, of course, lot of sounds, lot of your auditory senses are improving with rattles. They comes in various shapes and sizes. Later on, when the child is a little bigger, you can teach animals through these rattles. You can teach alphabets through these rattles. Squeaky toys make a lot of sound, so you can do a lot of entertainment, talking and pretending of the dog, cats, talking to the child. Animal sounds can be taught. A lot of things can be taught up to 12 months of age through these toys. Then from toddlers up to 1 to 2 years, cloth covered blocks are a good option for skill building, their motor planning, how to place one after over the another, how to create a tower, how to create a bridge, how to go under them, how to make a fort, kind of a thing. That happens. Cardboard blocks are good safety options along with the cloth covered box. Then stacking toys for color identification, shapes identification. Then push and pull toys to keep them active, running around. And they can have sound so you know where your child is running around, and that's a safety option too. Then pop-up toys, you can teach animals through this. Music comes, lot of inquisitiveness is enhanced through these toys. Then board books are there. Then two-piece puzzles, again joining. The concept of one after the another can be taught. So all these things can happen till 2 years of age. So two-piece puzzles till 2 years of age, 2 to 4 piece puzzles. 3 years they can go to 4 piece puzzles to form a complete picture of an animal in this way, jigsaw puzzle. Preschoolers from 2 to 5 years, they have a lot of options open: construction toys, pretend play toys, then nestling table toys, wooden blocks, small balls of different sizes. So this Legos is a great option for them to create and enhance creativity. This is for a little younger child, like 3 or 4 years, where cutting of fruits can be taught. Kitchen set can be used by the parents to, like, evening cup of tea for dad and mom together, having a family dinner time together. A lot of things can of real life can be taught through these toys, and they are safe, and so that makes it more easier. As they grow up, little more wheel toys, non-toxic clay, simple board and card games can be introduced. 16-piece puzzles for 2 to 5 years of age. They can use train sets. They have airport and farm zoo, as I was telling that initially, when you buy, if you get a gift set, which is a little higher for the age group, the child can only use the train as a toy to play with. But later on, as you can make the whole airplane or the airport and the building of the whole airport farm. So that enhances their creativity, problem solving skill, which puzzle piece will go where. A lot of question and logical thinking can be. Then from 6 to 10 years, a lot of complex things are introduced. Board games, complex card games, art and craft kits, car and airplane model kits, joining and making, science collections, jumping rope. Like we saw in the video in the beginning, how the children were using ropes to play with. A simple game, but their entertainment was heightened, their excitement was heightened with them. Bike, scooter, uh, push and pull toys with that, short novels. Start introducing reading habits in your child at this age so that they can cultivate that habit further, which will help them enhance their literacy and overall engagement um, in a scenario where now we are in quarantine or we were in quarantine. uh, Reading habit is a good option rather than the mobile games and electronic toys. Sports equipment, of course, cricket, basketball, baseball, depending on the cultural differences, musical instruments. If your child is interested in any, try to keep them. Here comes, at this stage, you can put them in more of organized learning classes, and unstructured play can go down from 8 to 10 years of age, and more of what you say structured things can come up, like cricket coaching or musical instrument coaching, solving of jigsaw puzzles, chess, and a lot of other board games. So now we come to the topic, which is like our forte, specific toys for children with special needs. So we as developmental pediatricians, we just talk about developmental age, developmental age, developmental age. So when you are choosing, if you have a child who has some special needs, make sure that you choose your child's toys depending on the developmental age that your developmental pediatrician has given you for your child, not the chronological age. Developmental age coincides with the mental development of the child, uh, depending on how much the child has progressed. So children with special needs have unique risk of injury if their physical or behavioral development does not match the age on the package. So you should always make sure that you are taking it a level down if it is required. Your child may be 5 years of age chronologically, but developmentally 3 years of age. So buy a toy which is appropriate for a 3-year-old child. Watch for choking hazards. Like in the video, a lot of special needs kids, they don't understand, they cannot distinguish between edible and non-edible things, so they can put small pieces in their nose, in their mouth, and they can swallow it. A lot of swallowing condition can cause choking. So keep small toys, balls, marbles, balloons, plastic bags, all that away from your child. Look for toys that help parents.
And Dr. Tanvi, this is a very, very important, even the video and the relation out over here, but the practical experience which Dr. Anuj had multiple times in the recent past. Dr. Anuj, may I request to share your own experience which you recently had, which has been covered by the national news, and it has helped at least millions of parents. It's very important, your message to be addressed out here.
I'm removing foreign bodies from the airways for last more than 20 years. My teacher, Dr. C.L. Arya, has taught me to do that bronchoscopy, and I'm doing it for last more than 20 years. And I always ask parents, when the child is growing up, like more than 6 months of age or 9 months of age, and when they are moving, they start moving or rolling. So you should be very careful for the injuries. आप उनको ऐसे टॉयज दें, ऐसी चीजें दें जो वो, क्योंकि they are explorer, they will put everything into their mouth, and like she has shown a video also, although it is a more dramatic video. Nobody can put 4 toys together into the nostril, but film is film. Film is film. Sometime I have removed a piece of cauliflower or some rubber or something, because it is not such a big space you can put four toys there. But even one piece of any object can cause fever to the child, or sinusitis, or severe infection to the sinuses of the child. And otherwise, if it goes into the bronchus, अगर सांस की नली में चला जाए तो choking हो जाती है. and even one can lose his or her life. And it is not uncommon to be like this. So जब भी आप बच्चों के सामने कुछ भी रखें, even you are eating peanuts or cashew nut, or you are keeping it on the table, you should be very cautious. They will take this into their mouth, and if they laugh or they cry, like if some stranger pop in, then they can cry with fear or with stranger anxiety, and whatever is present in their mouth, that will go into the airways. So it is a very risky affair, and पेरेंट्स को टॉयज चूज करते हुए ये भी बहुत ध्यान रखना है, और कि किस टाइप के टॉयज हैं उसमें, जो उसकी एसेसरीज हैं वो कितनी बड़ी हैं और कितनी आराम से डिसलॉज हो सकती हैं. So with this kind of information, I feel the blocks are the best toys. Like Dr. Tanvi has told, the toy should grow with the child. Like पहले 2 साल में बच्चा उसे स्टैक करेगा, एक ब्लॉक के ऊपर एक ब्लॉक रखेगा, एंड धीरे धीरे he started knowing how to make a bridge or how to use these toys, or sometime they will these children will use it like as using it a cup or something like that. So उनकी creativity उसमें explore होती है.
Younger the toy, larger the
Yeah.
younger the child, larger the toy is better.
Yeah, younger the child, बहुत बढ़िया बात बताई है मैम ने, younger the child and larger the toy. एंड एक मेरी रिक्वेस्ट है, डोंट डू मेटलिस्टिक रीइंफोर्समेंट. बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स क्या करते हैं, पेरेंट्स और ज्ञान पेरेंट्स, जब वो कहीं बाहर जाते हैं तो बच्चे के लिए और टॉय लाते हैं. सो देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन बम्बार्डिंग और इनंडेटेड देम विद द टॉयज एंड टॉयज. एक टॉय जिसको पूरी तरह यूज करना सीखे, जब तक वो उससे बिल्कुल बोर ना हो जाए, दूसरा टॉय ऑफर मत कीजिए. जितना आप उसको टॉय से फ्लड कर देंगे, वो कोई एक टॉय भी उसकी क्रिएटिविटी में फिट नहीं होगा. And there is no point in buying the robots, and which is creating noise and light. And sometimes it also जो बच्चे को टॉय में खुद इन्वॉल्वमेंट ना हो उसका, वो टॉय अच्छा नहीं है डेवलपमेंट के हिसाब से. टॉय ऐसा होना चाहिए जिसमें उसकी क्रिएटिविटी हो. अब आप गन वाला टॉय दिखा रहे हैं, रॉबोट दिखा रहे हैं, तो उससे आई डोंट थिंक दे लर्न एनी गुड थिंग आउट ऑफ इट. So it is better to give them toys where they can use their fine motor skill. और जहाँ तक स्पेशल नीड वाले चिल्ड्रन है, जैसे ऑटिस्टिक चिल्ड्रन है, एडीएचडी वाले, मैं उसके बारे में थोड़े क्वेश्चन पूछना चाहूंगा डॉक्टर तन्वी आपसे. लाइक आज जैसे जैसे टाइम बढ़ रहा है या अवेयरनेस बढ़ रही है, और लॉकडाउन के बाद तो बहुत सारे बच्चों में मे बी इट मे बी ऑटिज्म, बट दिस हैज सरफेस्ड आउट. बहुत सारे बच्चे अब आई टू आई कांटेक्ट लूज कर गए हैं, एंड दे आर बिजी इन द मोबाइल आल्सो, और दे आर नॉट लिसनिंग टू द पेरेंट्स. सो ऐसे बच्चों के लिए जो ऑटिस्टिक, जिनमें हम ऑटिस्टिक स्पेक्ट्रम डिसीज सोचे, उनके लिए कौन से टॉयज बेस्ट है?
सो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, जो आपका क्वेश्चन है उससे एक स्टडी का एक डेटा है जो मैं दिखाना चाहूंगी, जिसमें इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टॉयज और उसपे किस तरह से कितना डेवलपमेंटल डिसेबिलिटी का रिस्क आता है वो बताया गया है. देन वी विल कम टू योर क्वेश्चन, how we will what games can be used small life.
Right.
So this was a study done by American Academy of Pediatrics, जिसमें 421 children were screened by the Parents Evaluation of Developmental Status, that is PEDS. It's a questionnaire. So out of 421, 200 children, that is 47.5%, were classified as high risk when they were using electronic toys. So screening, जो screen hours, if you are giving 6 hours of screen time, your child lands up in a high risk group. 3 hours, it is in the moderate risk group, and 1 hour in the lowest risk group. जब उन्होंने PEDS यूज किया टॉडलर्स के लिए, तो स्क्रीन टाइम ऑफ 3 hours was up to 9.4 times as likely to be high risk for a developmental disability. And preschoolers के लिए same 3 hours came down a bit lower to 8.2 times for development of high risk of developing developmental disability. Then जब MCAT पे MCAT is a screening tool for autism. So जब 372 बच्चों को उस पे स्क्रीन किया गया, तो 139, 37.4% were classified as high risk, and 62.6% as low risk. Using MCHAT, 6 hours was the high risk group compared to 3 hours in the low risk group. So toddlers were again time at 3 hours per day was up to 7.02 times as likely to be classified as high risk, and preschool children में 3 hours came down to 3.91. So the point here is that the screen time guidelines given by American Academy of Pediatrics is very important. From 0 to 18 months of age, there should be no screen time for the child. Okay. So, and then maybe half an hour or 1 hour, and then later on it increases to maximum 2 hours per day. उससे ज़्यादा screen time बच्चों को allowed नहीं है. Can I? So yes, sir, coming to your question, in this lockdown period, we have seen that because the exposure to screen and the parents working from home and giving a lot of screen time to the children, a lot of children are coming with symptoms that is mimicking or looking like autism spectrum disorder. And maybe some are even further developing that, because when you ask the parents that what is the screen time for your child, it is like they don't have a number to put. पूरे दिन phone हाथ में रहता है, पूरे दिन mobile हाथ में रहता है. So that is a very big problem these days. So what we tell them that first of all, we immediately stop that, because in this high risk group up to 2 years, the screen time is not allowed except for the video calling that you do with your relatives. That is the only thing that is allowed. And you have to involve more and more. So autism is basically a problem where the child is not communicating socially, not interacting socially. So the problem lies in you interacting more with the child, using more of traditional toys, using more of pretend play toys, trying to engage the child in simple learning abilities like teaching body parts, teaching your body parts. Take a mirror, take your child in your lap, make them sit, let them see in the mirror themselves, or in a picture you can show them. Or on a doll you can show them. So a lot of toys can be used that way. Doll ka hand, doll ka leg, then the baby ka hand, baby ka leg, mama ka hand, mama ka leg. So a lot of interaction happens at that time. That tends to bring down their risk of developing autism spectrum disorder if they are on the mimic part. If they are already on the spectrum, then also this stimulation helps them to improve or to improvise their the neuronal, the synapses in the brain that are not letting them interact socially. तो काफी डिफरेंस आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं जस्ट छोटी छोटी चीजों से, और इसके लिए आपको अलग से कोई टाइम निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है कि आप बच्चे के साथ बैठ के इंटरैक्ट करेंगे. आप जब उसे खिला रहे हैं, आप जब उसे नहला रहे हैं, आप जब उसे कपड़े पहना रहे हैं, ऑल दिस टाइम यू कैन यूज अ लॉट ऑफ मॉडल ड्रेसिंग. आप उसको जब ड्रेस पहनाना सिखा रहे हैं, 1 स्टेप कमांड अगर बच्चा नहीं फॉलो करता है, आप डॉल को कपड़े पहना के उसको सिखा सकते हैं, मॉडल करा सकते हैं, एंड देन द सेम वे द चाइल्ड कैन डू. सो जब ये कम्युनिकेशन डेफिसिट बच्चों में होते हैं तो मॉडलिंग एंड इमिटेशन बिकम्स अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फैक्टर ऑफ लर्निंग थिंग्स, and in that you can use a lot of pretend toys. So that I think can answer this question on how to keep them engaged in.
And ma'am, for ADHD, those who are very hyperactive children, hyperactive versus ADHD children, attention deficit hyperactivity syndrome, जो एक जगह बैठते ही नहीं, उनकी कंसंट्रेशन कैसे टॉयज से बढ़ाई जा सकती है? या children who are having a focus
concentration उनकी like we don't think, in our experience, I have not seen those fidget toys to help anything with those with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. In fact, it becomes more of an obsessive behavior if they fidget a lot with those things. The thing is that ADHD के लिए आप बच्चों का पहले तो जो ट्रीटमेंट प्रोटोकॉल है उसमें हम फोकस करें, और जो एक्टिविटी उनकी ब्रेन की बहुत ज्यादा है तो फिजिकल प्ले से आप उसको यूटिलाइज करने की कोशिश कीजिए, जो कि लॉकडाउन पीरियड में घर के माहौल में थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट हो जाता है. लेकिन जब हम बाहर बच्चों को अनस्ट्रक्चर्ड प्ले टाइम देते हैं तब उनकी जो वो एनर्जी है वो यूटिलाइज होती है. घर पे अगर आपको करना है तो यू कैन मेक अ कॉर्नर in the child's room where you can everybody cannot buy a trampoline or something to jump along, but you get a lot of sponges or cushions where you can keep in a corner on a child, and the child can jump on it to release that hyperactivity that the child is getting through his brain. Then don't use fidget toys. That in our experience has not shown any benefit. I think researchers also have shown that they don't do much of benefit to the child with hyperactivity. Basically, for hyperactivity children, I think outside activity is the best. In this current scenario, the options are limited for us, but we can still try for some options that can help them. We move about toys, or again, making them engaged in the things that they like. So you need to observe what your child is playing with or interacting with, because when the child is hyperactive, उनका interaction level अच्छा रहता है. तो वो बच्चा क्या चूज कर रहा है, कौन सी टॉय में ज्यादा इन्वॉल्व हो रहा है, वो देख के आप उसके साथ जब आप इन्वॉल्व होके उस चीज में खेलते हैं या उस चीज में इन्वॉल्व होते हैं, उसके उस थ्रू उसको कुछ बताते हैं, तो उनकी कम्युनिकेशन लेवल और उनकी जो ये है लिटरेसी है या डेवलपमेंट एनहांसमेंट है वो हो पाती है.
थैंक यू मैम, आपने इतना टाइम स्पेयर किया और आपका मैसेज क्लियर है. इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टॉयज जो फिजिकल टॉयज हैं वो दैट शुड आउटस्कोर ऑन इलेक्ट्रॉनिक टॉयज, और स्क्रीन टाइम वैसे भी मिनिमम देना है. और साथ में जब भी बच्चों को खाना खिलाएं, मदर्स को रिक्वेस्ट है बिल्कुल भी टीवी वीडियो दिखा के खाना ना खिलाएं. और खेलने से आपने सीखा, मैडम ने बताया कि एज स्पेसिफिक टॉयज के साथ लर्निंग आती है, कॉग्निशन आता है, एग्जीक्यूटिव फंक्शन डेवलप होते हैं. जैसे मैम ने बताया 3 to 6 ईयर में फ्रंटल लोब जो ब्रेन का आगे का हिस्सा है जो एग्जीक्यूटिव फंक्शन करता है, जो डिसीजन लेने की क्षमता को बढ़ाता है, ये सब हम टॉयज के थ्रू सीखते हैं. आज से 20 साल पहले ये बात हम नहीं जानते थे, बट थ्रू वेरियस रिसर्च ये सब समझ में आ गया है. अब आपको बहुत जरूरी है कि आप जो स्क्रीन टाइम, जैसा कि रिकमेंडेड 2 ईयर एंड अबव 1 hour इज गुड एनफ, नॉट इवन 2 hours, 1 hour इज गुड एनफ. और वैसे भी अब जो बड़े बच्चे हो रहे हैं उनका काफी टाइम ऑनलाइन पढ़ाई पे ही बीत रहा है, तो उनको स्क्रीन से दूर रख के जितना भी वो फिजिकल एक्टिविटी के लिए प्रमोट करें. देखिए, अगर 2 बच्चे एक साथ खेलते हैं तो वो हार और जीत को भी बहुत अच्छे से समझते हैं, और साथ में कैसे एक दूसरे की कॉपरेशन से आगे बढ़ना है ये भी सीखते हैं. तो ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजें जब आप बच्चे को अगर वीडियो गेम्स में डाल देंगे या डिजिटल गेम्स में डाल देंगे तो वो सब उनका जो
आइसोलेट हो जाएंगे, वो और फर्दर आइसोलेट
जाएंगे और उनके डेवलपमेंट पे ग्रेजुअली बहुत खराब असर पड़ने वाला है, और वो कभी भी अपनी हार को एक्सेप्ट नहीं करेंगे. Thank you, ma'am.
And one more thing that parents should not expect beyond a child's capacity. कभी-कभी उनको लगता है कि दूसरा बच्चा ये कर रहा है तो मेरा बच्चा ये क्यों नहीं कर रहा है. तो उस बच्चे की कितनी डेवलपमेंट की लेवल हुई है और एज क्या है, उसके हिसाब से, जैसे हमने बोला इम्पल्स कंट्रोल 6 years पे आता है, फ्रंटल लोब डेवलपमेंट उस एज पे आता है, तो आप 4 साल के बच्चे से वो सारी चीजें एक्सपेक्ट नहीं कर सकते. So talk to your pediatrician about these things if you are in doubt. So that will help the parents better understand the child's actual stage of development, especially with children with special needs.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Dr. Anuj, this is your message.
Yeah, every child is born blessed with a vivid imagination, but just as a muscle grows flabby with disuse, so the bright imagination of a child fails in later years if he ceases to exercise it. So this is very nice message by Walt Disney, and I hope everybody will understand it and shift their child from digital toys to the physical toys. Thank you very much for the patient listening, and we will come again to you. And thank you, Dr. Tanvi Priya. You have spared so much time and giving parents.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.